good evening, and happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day Wednesday to those from Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to my channel, and we have special guest, Carcino for Life, who has stopped by for a brief conversation. He is very busy, as many, but he had a lot on his plate, so I promise I won't keep him long. So without further ado, welcome Carcino for Life.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Thanks,
And I'm glad
Noah.
you're here. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. So,
We try to get some better lighting in here because there's so much sun shining in here. But we
and
can
the
get
sun is
better
going
lighting.
down here.
Okay, there's some better lighting now.
That's perfect. I'm just putting up a couple of comments. So, Carcino for Life, Cino with the seats, and the black hole, the man with many names. My question is, when was Cino actually birthed into the world of social media with the emphasis on YouTube?
Well, I think we probably got to go back a little further before we get into YouTube. See, the thing is, yeah, we had to go further back because I exist pre-YouTube before it was even born. So before that, like how I even came into being, like Carcino was not even a name I was known by. Anybody who knew me, now my name is Kevin Davis, of course, they didn't know that, but my name was known as Magnificent. That's the name everybody called me. I was Kevin the Magnificent.
Wait a minute. How long ago was this? And I don't mean to
this is in the 90s. Kevin the Magnificent. Yeah. So it's people that still call me that. They don't call me Carcino. I'll show you where Carcino came. Well, I'm gonna lead you up to how Carcino came.
Yes,
so
sir.
Magnificent. So it was Kevin the Magnificent, like out in the city. Then when I came out to the burbs, then some people just, instead of calling me Kevin the Magnificent, they just call me Magnificent for short, Magnifo, everything. So it became a gift and a curse. Like for the girls, it was like they were reining in based off the name. They was like, I want to see what's so magnificent about him. I'm like, oh, it was crazy. But now you got to live up to being magnificent every single day. You can't have nothing go wrong. It's like everything you do have to be magnificent now. I'm like, wait a minute, this is too much. I can't. I want to have an off day. So it's a gift and a curse because everybody here, they be happy, then the next one be like, oh, what's so magnificent about you? And you know, it became so much jealousy. Everything came from that. But what led into Carcino was I have a friend named Marcino Rush, and the thing is for some reason, I don't even know why, this girl was visiting my friend that stayed on about a few blocks from me. And we're all outside, and she's going through this whole argument because he didn't want to let her in the house because something happened to his eye or whatever, and he didn't want her to see him like that or whatever. I don't know. It was something really weird. And she had came all the way out there to see him. And everybody was telling each other their names. And for some reason, all my friends were giving like these crazy alias names. Like my other buddy, like, he's like, I'm Ron Jeremy. I'm like, what? And I'm like, and they're going around this, everybody's giving a fake name. And I'm just like, I don't know what, because I came late. Like I got there late. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but they're not telling the real names. And I'm like, it's coming to me. And I gotta, she's getting everybody's names and I don't know why. But it's coming to me and I gotta think of a name quick. And then I thought of my buddy Marcino, who I was friends with him in 5th grade. And I'm like, it came to my head and I was like, Marcino, and I was gonna say my name, Kevin. At first, I didn't see nothing wrong with it, but then now everybody's giving a name, so it just came out. Carcino. I was thinking of Marcino Rush. So I said, Carcino Rush. So Carcino Rush became the name, and it would have ended that day had my friends that we call Smooth Walker have not come back every single day. Carcino, what's up? He just kept repeating that name over and over. It's Carcino. So he kept bringing it up. So Smooth Walker was the only one that kept repeating it. My buddy Smooth. So it's like Smooth Walker kept repeating it over and over again. And that it just started going like Carcino. That was it. And then it just started. Next thing you know, that's your new nickname. And now it has a branch of its own. So now I know most of the people. I've used it when I got on the internet. I just said, I'm going to put Carcino. So this eliminates all the people that know me as Magnificent. I have a whole new Carcino follower. So if anybody calls me Magnificent on there, I know exactly who they are. That means they know me from the walks of life. So that's why people kill me when they're like, I've been asking so-and-so, do you know this Carcino guy? They go, no. I'm like, they wouldn't know me as Carcino.
That is so funny because I assumed it had something to do with a casino. Am I off with that? It has nothing absolutely to do with a casino?
Nothing with a casino. And
wow,
I love casinos. I'm like always winning at the casino. So.
I see. Oh my gosh. Okay, so continue on with your journey into social media, and I'll mute my mic. Thank you.
Yeah. So coming up, I knew Floyd Mayweather back when he was an amateur in amateur boxing. Nate Jones out here from Chicago fought in the Olympics with Floyd. They fought at the same time. I used to go to the gym just to spar and work out. You know, I was in tip-top shape back then. So I could box and do all this, but I wasn't ready to get hit. Once I got hit one time, I said, time out. I went and looked in the mirror. I was like, wait a minute. I got a mark here. This can't. I'm out. So that's when I took off the glove. And everybody else decided to continue on with the sport. So Nate ended up fighting and representing the heavyweights. And he met Floyd in Milwaukee. And I didn't go to that fight. But when they came, they had the other national tournament. That's how I met Floyd. And he was as arrogant and as cocky as he is now. He was probably more then than he is now. It was very weird, but he knew where he was going. He used to tell everybody, like, he's like, I'm the best fighter in the world. He was like 15, 16 years old. It was like, kid, please. Then they watched him fight, and they was like, man, this kid is really good. He was beating adults, like 30-year-old adults at 16. Just beating them in boxing in the ring. He was that good at that age. He was just quick.
I'm sorry, that's when you first met him at the age when he was 16?
16. He was like 16, 15. Like, yeah, wow. Around that time, 16, 15. So around the 96 Olympics was coming around. That's when he had to go through the Olympic trials, and Nate from Chicago was on the team, and them two became best friends. And Nate is the one that's always been with him through all his fights since then. He's the big guy, and you see the big black guy in the ring that be having the pads. He hit the pads with him and everything, and he's in his corner. Nate has always been at his side. He was there just Floyd went in the Hall of Fame. He was right there. But I've known Floyd. I've been to everything with him, birthday parties, everything. So I met a lot of people through him. But also, the guy from Kel Mitchell from Kenan and Kel on Nickelodeon, all that, Good Burger. Kel Mitchell grew up around the corner from me in Chicago. Kel's from Chicago, so he grew up around the corner from me. And I knew this kid from breakdancing in the street, and him and my cousin, because Kel is younger than me, and him and my cousin are the same age. So they were in a rap group together. So I'm thinking like, okay, that's cool. They got a rap group. Next thing y'all know, Kel is on TV. on a show called All That. He wanted all of us to watch it and tune in. And Left Eye TLC was a producer of this movie. And so I was like, TL, nobody really know that. They did the theme song and everything for All That. He tried out for a talent show and won. So that was another thing that shocked me. It opened my eyes to a whole new world, because I've always, in my mind, I'm programmed that they pick people for stuff like that. We can't, nobody from this neighborhood will ever be on TV, doing a TV show. And here it is, a guy from around the corner is on television and beating Disney. Kenan and Kel had dominated Disney. All That became the biggest show on kid television, and just television period, and sketch comedy. It was the hit song. They had rappers in every group, because Brian Robbins had a relationship with Def Jam, and now Brian Robbins is one of the top producers in film. And that's who I knew. I met him because he filmed a movie in Cabrini Greens with Keanu Reeves called Hardball. And me and him actually connected, and he knew me through Kel. Because Kel and my cousin had that rap group. They actually ended up doing an album together, and he brought them actually on the show, All That. So that's where I met Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon got brought into the show, All That. So I met Nick Cannon. Kel had his first wife, met her. I met Megan Good, because Megan Good hung out there. What's his name? Brandon Jonathan. All these guys came out. The guy that plays Sweetness in Roll Bounce. If anybody want to know, my mom loved Roll Bounce because of Sweetness. So
I think everyone loves Sweetness. Quick question: is Cabrini Green still Cabrini Green, or is that gone now?
It's pretty much gone. The tall buildings are gone. They got some of the smaller buildings still there, but what we know as Cabrini Greens it's gone. They tore that down. They tore down the Robert Taylor homes, a lot of the towers. They tore them all down and gentrifying the area. Now, this is how I got to network and know everybody, is because of these two, Floyd Mayweather on one side in the boxing world. So I'm meeting all the sports athletes, and then I'm meeting all the rappers, because I know Kel and All That and Brian Robbins, who's got all the Def Jam staff. They come there and do the musical number every day. Nick Cannon comes along. He's brand new. He just gets there. Megan Good comes. She's brand new. She just gets there. And Brandon is dating Megan Good's older sister, who everybody thought was going to be the megastar. She was the singer. She was in the singing group ISIS. So all of these things are around me. So I know them all. My cousin Patty did Rick James' hair. She was the only one to braid Rick James' hair. She was in the group Parliament. Her name is Patty Cakes. She still is doing shows right now with the group Parliament without George Clinton. George Clinton left the group to start his own George Clinton thing with his son or whatever. So the rest of the members are still performing. So she's still doing that. But she was the only one that did Rick James' hair. So braids, everything. So that's how I know Rick James. So this is why I'm saying all of these things come, everybody can't believe I know so much. So this explains when I came to YouTube. Now you're going to see how this all happened. Floyd was having a fight in 2006. YouTube had just came out in 2005 as this new thing saying you can record videos, upload, and share it with your friends. That's what it was supposed to be about. A way to make videos and share it with your friends. 5-minute videos is all you can make. That was it. 5 minutes. Then you're done. There was no wiggle room around it. YouTube was 5 minutes. And anybody could tell you anything about it. I was there in the inception. I signed up for it and never used it.
And that was for everybody. That was the cap for everyone. 5 minutes?
5 minutes. That's it.
Wow.
No wiggle room. So when I signed up for it, I didn't use it. And I signed up for it and I was just there. I had my first account. It was called Carcino. And I didn't put anything up. And then I went to the boxing fight and I said, man, I recorded Floyd Mayweather's entrance because I was at the fight. And I recorded his royal entrance into the ring. And I said, well, I can upload this. I got this thing that I could upload it to this YouTube thing, and then I could just send people the link, and then they can watch it. So I upload. That was my first video I ever done on YouTube. Was Floyd Mayweather's like his royal entrance into the ring, and that was my very first YouTube video. I posted it. It did very well on YouTube. I thought it was just for the friends, but it was other people on YouTube. So that was my first video, and people wanted to hear me talk about boxing more. And I started talking about boxing because I was around the sport, knew a lot about the sport. So I'm hearing somebody give a commentary, and I'm like, that's dumb. So I'm like, no, that's not what happened. I was just there. I know exactly what happened. I talked to the trainer. So I started making videos talking about it, and it started blowing up. And then I didn't know any rules to YouTube at that time. I got 3 strikes immediately on that channel and lost it. Because now I'm just like, oh God, I was out of control. I was showing HBO. It was like I was doing commentary, but I'm playing the video in the back. The music is going off. I had like 4 copyrights within one 5-minute video. I'm like, geez. Looking at that now, I'm like, I probably violated 16 times, and they just caught me on 3. So as I got smarter, I realized on the second channel,
you had one. I'm sorry, you had one channel and you lost it. How quickly?
I lost that in a couple of months because I didn't know what to do. I mean, it was a couple of months of me posting. Because I had it for like about a year before I posted anything, because I didn't know. No one knew anything about YouTube. Like, it was just something I signed up for it. Like, it came out. I'm like, okay, it could be cool. I'll just sign up for it and get. YouTube was nothing at the time. It was like it wasn't even bought by Google yet. It was just on its own. So Google didn't even buy it yet. That's how I was there before that happened. So there was no Google owning it. So if Google bought it, I think like about a year later, then Google came and got it, and I think that's when I started getting the copyright. Because before then, I don't think nobody cared. We wasn't making any money anyway. There was no money. Let me bring that in. There was no money at YouTube at that time. For anybody who didn't know, no money. Okay, I'm gonna have to check this out later. Somebody sent me a message I'm gonna have to deal with later. But yeah, there was no money on YouTube at that time. There was no ads, no nothing. You didn't have to. There was no ads on the video. And then when they brought in that they was gonna start doing ads, and that's when I had my other channel. They was like, they're gonna make it available because it was only for certain people who had ads. But the ads were very weird. The ads, you had to be able to post them yourself. It was us to post the ads, and it was like you had to set like these little things for people to click, and you had to like trick people to click them because you get paid per click, which was stupid. But it's like they gotta click on the ad, and if they like the ad and all that, then you get paid per click. So it's not like if the ad pops up, somebody's got to actually click on the ad, and then it pops up, and then then you get paid. That was the only way you got paid. So you had to put the ad in tricky positions so that people are trying to get rid of the ad and get it out of the way because it was blocking the video, and hopefully they click on it enough to bring the ad up. So they were showing you like, I'll show you how to place the ads so you can get paid, and this didn't happen till I want to say 2008, maybe 2009. I'd say 2009 is when that happened. So this is about 3 years in. And now they've set it up to a new standard that if you're in journalism, you get 15 minutes. If you said it like you're a journalist, you get 15 minutes on your videos instead of 5. So they was like, oh man, you can get 15 minutes. If you're doing a journalistic, you got to put journalist as your tagline. And if you're a journalist, they'll give you 15 minutes on your videos. So now it became, if you were certified or you had this many followers or whatever, you can get approved for 15 minutes. So people were still on 5, Now you don't have to be a journalist, but if you have so many viewers or so many subscribers, you could be getting receiving 15 minutes of time. Again, no live streaming, none of that was out the window at that time. So we have ads for like pay-per-click ads and everything. And this was 2009. About 2010, it was starting to go into a much different direction because Twitter was getting ready to really start coming into fold, and it was starting to build up. And MySpace at that time was huge, and it was dying. It was huge, then it started to like die off. So MySpace was dying off, and Facebook was coming in. So now you have Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. It's going to be the staple of communication. There was no Instagram. So people don't realize how small of a window all of this social media that we have is. So I was blowing up on boxing. More, I didn't even channel it on my hip hop side and all the stuff I knew. Boxing was that's my first sport that I love. So I remember you asked me that in one of my questions. That's one of the questions. Boxing is my first love. I came in with boxing, and that was my first sport I've seen as a kid, and I loved it right away. Thomas the Hitman Hearns is my favorite fighter from Detroit, and I never put nobody over Tommy, even Floyd. But
not even Iron Mike.
Mike is in my top three. I got Thomas the Hitman Hearns, and then I got Felix Trinidad. These are my favorite fighters. Tito is second. Then Mike Tyson is third. Then I think I got Magic Marlon Stallings, then Floyd, and then from there, from 5 on down, it just trickles down. But those are like my 5 staples that I've known. Magic Marlon Stallings was always like number 4, and Floyd was 5. So
you don't have my hometown man in there.
Who?
Riddick Big Daddy Bo. He's from
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy Bo, yes.
Yeah, he's from Brownsville, ain't he?
He lived in Maryland for quite a
time. Oh, he's in Maryland? Okay.
Yes, and on his lawn, his landscapers actually cut his front lawn with Bo on it, so everyone knew that was the Bo home. Fort Washington. Absolutely.
Yeah, I used to love, I knew them, like Rock Newman.
Yes.
I knew Rock. I knew his first wife, Judy. I knew Judy, and Big Daddy Bo, man. Dang, that brought back memories. Yeah, it was a shame what happened to him, but man, I used to love Big Daddy Bo. Because I wasn't a big Holyfield fan. I was a Riddick Bowe fan, and because Bo was just real. He just changed the game. And Rock just came in. He was a guy that just came into boxing, got his money, and got out. I was like, I ain't seen nobody do that. I was like, normally Rock, you could have made. He's like, I made a lot of money. I'm getting out. So I was like, all right, Rock.
I think he is a commentator on a news station now, either NPR or something other like that. But the last I heard of Rock Newman, he was doing radio shows. Like I said, it was PBS, maybe NPR, one of those grassroots type of stations.
Oh, I could find Rock. Yeah, I mean, I should track him down. But yeah, fighters, I have no trouble getting in contact with.
Awesome. So, you have any more on the your
on my YouTube?
Yes.
How I came into like doing it. Well, after that, we came out with a website called Boxing Socialist. Actually, it was already existed. Sean had it, and it was in his impetus stage. And he just like, man, I got this website. And he had a friend named Charlene May who knew me and wanted to work with me. And she thought, like, she introduced me to Sean. And then Whatever they was working on didn't work out with the boxing websites and all that. So he came to me and was like, I'm doing this thing, called Boxing Socialist. I'm trying to get it off the ground. And he's like, you want to help me? I'm like, sure, I'll come in and for half the ownership. And he's like, you got it. And sure enough, we was 50-50 partners and been 50-50 partners all the way through still. So we've changed the name because I would have never named this thing Boxing Socialist. But he named it that. I'm like, that's too long. I said I'm like, it should be Boxing Soul, like something small, like 5 letters. I'm like, Boxing Socialism? People will be misspelling that. You can't spell? Socialist? Like, you kidding me? But I'm like, all right, we're going to make it happen. And we made it happen. I mean, we got an exclusive interview with Floyd Mayweather back when many people could never get into an interview with Floyd Mayweather because I knew him. I was able to get it. But I'm not the person that likes to ask people I know for stuff. So I was really hesitant on doing it because I'm like, I don't like doing it. That's why I don't like asking people. I know them. I'd rather chill with them than be asking them for interviews and stuff. I'm just like, I just feel weird doing that. But we ended up doing it. It seemed right. We did it, and it came out great. It was like the top, we were beating out top podcasts. We were on mainstream media. We was picked up by some ESPN sites. So it was serious. It was during the time where the Pacquiao fight was brewing. That's where we made the bulk of our money when they didn't fight, when the anticipation of that was going on. So we had a lot of buzz from that. But again, no real hip hop information or nothing. And right away, just out of the blue, DJ Vlad had did an interview on YouTube with Memphis Bleek. And Memphis Bleek told the most unforgivable lie I've ever heard in my life. And he created what Carcino for Life ended up becoming. So the channel already existed. Now, after this was done, I'm seeing this guy sit there in front of Vlad and make up this ridiculous lie that Nas beef started over him and he really kicked it off and all this. And it was just so much garbage. So in the comment section, I put, that was Ether was one of the most realest, that last verse was the most factual diss record probably of all times. And I broke down every line that Nas has said in the rhyme in that comment section. And that was true. This was true. That was true. That's true. That's true. Because somebody said it was false. That had about 20,000 likes. Just that alone. It was really high. Something that I couldn't even fathom. And I was like, man, people really don't know? So I made a video called The Truth Behind the Nas and Jay-Z beef. And I broke it down and no one had ever heard any of this. They've heard only the pieces that Nas and Jay-Z told, which was total BS. And I said, how does nobody know this? In the hip hop industry, why is no one talking about this? So I made this video and it went just super viral. And I was like, wow. We're talking hundreds of thousands of views, almost millions. I got videos that have done millions back in those eras when I came up. Millions of views.
Was that your first viral video, Cena?
Huh?
Was that your first viral video?
Pretty much. That was the first out of this world viral one. I actually had another video that was in a movie that was on my other Carcino channel. That ended up, it was called Carcino 2. Remember I told you they shut down the other one? I had Carcino 2, and I had a video on there about the killer whale when the killer whale had killed that lady. She was from Illinois, and they opened up SeaWorld again after that. Then I did a video showing the killer whale and other killer whales. That's still my biggest video to date. That's at 25 million still to this day, and it's going on my other page. 25 million. A lot of people don't even know that footage was used for a movie. They asked me could they use my footage, and put it in a movie. And it's a documentary film called Blackfish, and you'll see my footage in that movie. So yes, I got paid off that.
I'm sure you did. So that was called Blackfish, like the color
Yes,
black on the
Blackfish.
fish. Okay.
Yeah, it was showing about SeaWorld and how they was treating the killer whales, and now they don't have killer whales there anymore. They stopped the whole thing because of that movie.
And
So
is
it was
that on
actually
your,
saved.
where can we find that?
That the video that I got that's out, it's on my Carcino 2, which is now called just Kevin Davis on YouTube, but it's the Carcino 2 page. That's what it was called.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, and the thing is I had lost that page, and that's how this page got called Carcino for Life. Because I'm like, I'm not losing another page ever again, because they took it down falsely. They hit me with false flags back then, and I didn't know I could really fight it, you know. So, and my buddy Blood Boxing hit me up, and he's like, man, I got hit with that same garbage for the same thing. He's like, all you got to do is fight that, you will get your channel back. And I was like, all right. So I went in and fought it, but I had already created Carcino for Life. And then eventually I ended up winning, and I got my channel back. I said, I got my channel back. But I'm like, it's too late. I've already got Carcino for Life now. So and then I was just like, started building on Carcino for Life. My Carcino 2, I got it because I love it's got archived all my videos and all my other stuff that's over there, man. But it's like my I like, this is like the oldest channel now because of the other one, but this one came like right after it, so they still close to each other. But I'm like, I love both channels, but I still got them both. So yeah, but that's how that was born. And then I started doing the hip hop videos, and then the Straight Outta Compton, and then all the mistakes that was made in that movie. And I'm like, oh, this movie is all messed up. So I started telling people the truth about that. And then that started doing hundreds of thousands of views, like 600,000, 700,000, 1,400,000. I got offered deals from YouTube, like massive companies like Broadband TV. They wanted to they do a partnership deal with me. And they offered me what is the deal that they offered? I think it was, they took like 15% and I got 70. It was like almost like a 70-30 deal, but I got a massive amount and they were taking like 15%. But then I still got to pay YouTube. So I still got to get my split from that. So after the split I get from YouTube, I'm still doing a split with them. But they're saying, oh no, we're going to promote your video. We're going to put you in the top of searches. So you're going to be getting anywhere from like you're going to automatically be getting like 800, 900,000 views. We got people that is going to do the video for you, actually make my videos. But see, what I was giving up, and I saw that in the fine print, is they have say over my videos. They can go in my videos without my permission and delete whatever they wanted. I don't want that. You're not going to have that kind of control over my page. That's not going to happen. You're not going to tell me what I can say. You can suggest, why don't I do something? But no, they had control to go in and do what they wanted to do when they wanted to do it. And I don't agree with that. You're not going to have that kind of power. Not over me. Not over me. I didn't build this. I didn't build this to give you that kind of control. So me not knowing, I wasn't supposed to show the contract. And I actually showed the agreement on a video I did on a live stream. They got so pissed off at me. They attacked my page venomously. Yeah, it was bad. So then I started having all the detractors come. once I started getting all this hits and attention, everybody started turning their anger bombs at me. All the other people who weren't getting hits. And now that they're getting more views than me, since they put all their focus into hating and pushing me down, and now they're getting more hits than me, they don't have a problem with me. So it was all fake to begin with. So.
And this began with your Straight Outta Compton footage?
It wasn't just that. It was I started telling the truth about all these things. And what they didn't realize is that, like, they were just saying, oh, okay, he's just, like, it was a gimmick. Like, I'll say the truth behind, like, that's the gimmick. Like, oh, people, he's just gimmicking. He's just putting the truth behind. So people start trying to use that to bait people in because they think that's what's getting people, is that I'm putting the truth behind, not realizing people are there because of what I'm actually saying. So they're trying to use it for themselves and steal it and just confuse people. And I'm like, hey, now you're just trying to make people think you're me, which is stupid. Because once they find out you're not, they're only gonna come here. But you're baiting them and you're making a mockery of it and making a fool of yourself. But you had a lot of people that's thirsty and starving for fame. They want to do that. So you'll see a lot of people doing that. Oh, the truth behind, the truth this. I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about. But what really made them start paying attention was the Biggie Smalls video, I Got a Story to Tell. And I told people that this is a true story. And no one really believed me. And I told that I explained it in graphic detail. And I told them who the person was actually about. And I said it was Anthony Mason. And they were like, man, this person don't know. But I also told them who the woman was. And they didn't, and that's in the video. Nobody ever noticed that. I told them who the woman was in that whole scenario. Because that woman wasn't Anthony Mason's wife. This was his girlfriend on the side. So at the time, what made it big is that Fat Joe came out and leaked who it was, because John Starks was on ESPN, and he said, oh no, it wasn't about me, because everybody thought it was about John Starks. And he said, no, it was about somebody real on our team, but it wasn't me. And so he's like, oh, so it's real? So that's when everybody started jumping on it. And then when Fat Joe was like, yeah, it's Anthony Mason, but don't everybody know that? And then Sean Puffy Combs came out and confirmed that, yeah, it was Anthony Mason. But they don't even really know the gist of it. They never wanted to confirm the female. And the female at the time was dating, well, she ended up becoming Mike Tyson's, I don't know if they were his wife, but I know that was his girlfriend at the time. Like after that, she ended up dating Mike Tyson. And they broke up because she wanted his pigeons. She thought he was keeping the pigeons up there for food. And where she's from, her last name is Whitney, in case y'all don't want to know. I want to say it's Liz Whitney, but I might be wrong. But that's the woman that was involved in the Biggie situation. I got a story to tell. So, and her and Anthony Mason was dealing around with each other. But he had a wife, and the reason how I got the information is because his wife is here, and a divorce happened here in Chicago. And his divorce lawyer, I know her. Not his divorce lawyer, his wife's. Anthony Mason couldn't stand her. He called her the B word in court. So that's how I know the situation in this story. A lot of people don't know that. So this is like groundbreaking information. They never knew how I knew. So this is the first time it's probably ever been told on video or anything. I knew the information. That's
first time I'm hearing it. And Mace was one of my favorite New York Knicks players.
Yeah, Mason's a thing. Yeah, so.
Wow.
Yeah, rest in peace to him, man. Rest in peace to Mace.
Rest in power, yes.
Yeah, so after that, people was like, oh man, this dude is for real. You know, there's people like, dude, you was telling the truth the whole time. My video was out prior to them coming out saying all this stuff. So people start coming back to my videos. And that's why they start realizing, man, dude, what you was saying is true. They just confirmed this. So it was starting to come in later and later. Somebody would actually say something that I've already stated in the video. And they would come back and they realize that, hey, this dude is not, he ain't no joke. He's telling the truth. Like, he really knows. I'm like, I'm telling you stories that haven't even been told yet. So it's a lot of things in this industry that a lot of people just didn't know. I was surprised by that. I thought like a lot of people knew. I'm just like, man, I thought people really knew this stuff. So for me, it was a shock. But then that's when like everything started flowing in, you know, like all these opportunities, and I've turned my back on a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. I mean, we're talking about $500,000, $600,000. I turned my back on. Easy. 600,000, easy. I can count that easy. I turned my back on.
And what was your reason for turning your back on that?
Control.
Okay.
They would have more control and say so over what I want to do, and that to me is a problem. I'll take the low money, but to have 100% or the majority control over what I do, my content. Because see, it's only going to start there. They can go in and delete videos. Then they start sending you messages saying, these are some videos we found that don't fit with our, program. Can you delete them or fix them or change them? And that's not going to ride. And I've seen people take those deals and regret them, because they ended up crippling their channels by taking down some of their most popular videos, but they didn't fit the code of what they wanted. And I've seen these guys who took the deal, and they got people like that, like academics, they'll do anything for $1. But I've come from a different world. I've actually, all what they're trying to ascend to, I've already done that before YouTube existed. Like, I knew all the celebrities and met them all. TLC, Left Eye, Kel and Floyd Mayweather, the professional boxers, the basketball players. I've seen all this before YouTube. So when I got to YouTube, it was like, it's not like, oh, like I want to get big so I can go and be up there and, and interview these guys and do that. I was already hanging with them. So it wasn't going to do anything for me. So it was easier for me to say no to where academics. That's why I don't fault him for taking these deals. He was sitting in his mother's basement with a t-shirt on, playing Xbox and drinking 2 liters of soda. That was his life. Then all of a sudden now, they threw every deal his way, and he just took everything they threw. He wants to ascend to go out to do these things that he's doing now. He wanted to go out and do that. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's just that he took a wrong route in doing it. He was very reckless and very irresponsible when he first was doing this. And he's trying to act like nothing happened. But people lost their lives behind it with that war in Chirac stuff. And he hasn't atoned for it. But, all the other stuff he did, I see why these guys are inspired to do that, because they never had like my path. A lot of people haven't had my path to come up there. A lot of people don't get to experience having people around their corner become mega movie stars and television stars. It just don't normally happen for everybody. I'm just like, I didn't know he was going to do that. It just happened. So, yeah, it's quite interesting. But that's why I don't get so up or so down. Or this is why I can easily vibe with someone like Kwame Brown or any other celebrity. I could talk to them like any other person, because I see them all as people. More than anything, of course I respect their celebrity status or what they did professionally, but I'm understanding like that's their job. Like they have to do that.
Are you able to see the chat?
No, not on my end.
Not on your end? Okay.
No, I wish I could.
There's a comment here. I'm not sure anything about that. I know some boxers, but not like personally, except one. But there's a question there about Mike Tyson. Are you able to see it?
Oh, you talking about the story when I had the dream I slapped Mike Tyson? Yeah, that was a dream.
Okay.
I was like, and I slapped Mike Tyson, and then I woke up. Yeah, that was a dream, buddy. No, I never met Mike. That's the thing. That's one fighter I never met. Everybody would assume I met him. I worked with Don King and never ever met Mike Tyson. Do you understand? Like Mike Tyson was on his way. They're like, Tyson's coming. I'm like, I'm leaving. Because I didn't want nothing to go wrong. That I would set Mike Tyson off for anything. I'll be like, hey, Mike, pat him on the back. Don't touch me. I'll be like, uh-oh. I don't want to do anything to set Mike off. And they was like, man, Mike, cool. You and Mike are get along great. I was like, I think we would too, but I don't want to be there when it goes wrong. Somebody rub Mike the wrong way.
So was he off limits when he was under the tutelage of Don King?
Was he off limits? No.
No.
Mike did what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. Like when I was with Don, Mike wasn't really around that much. Like he was mostly off doing whatever, and I was coming in at a time where Floyd Mayweather was like coming into his own as being a pay-per-view megastar. It was the Zab Judah fight with Floyd, which two of those guys are like brothers. Like both families been knowing each other for life, and now they fight each other, and it turned into a nasty, like the whole family's fighting. That's why the fight broke out in the ring. You know, like everybody's battle royaling. It was crazy. It was real crazy that night. But Don was trying to pitch for another fight, and I helped him come up with an angle that he didn't even know about, and nobody on his team knew. And Juan Gonzalez from Don King Promotions, DKP. And after that, Don he didn't even say nothing. He nodded his head, put the stogie in his mouth, and he walked off. And Carl King, that's his stepson, but it's like his son anyway. But Carl comes up, it's like, let me get your business card. Don gonna call you. He wants you to come to the fight that we got in Chicago. He gonna do a fight in Chicago. He wants you there to talk to the media and everything. He loved the way you talk to the media. So I'm like, all right. So I came to Chicago. I live in Chicago, so they was bringing the fight here. And right as rain, he got me dealing with his fighters, promoting the fight.
So I'm sure you have seen as many the biopic on Mike Tyson's story. How much credence was into that? Meaning, how much of it do you believe was fact?
I didn't watch the Hulu story because Mike Tyson said he was very upset with it, so I didn't watch it. I said, okay. If Tyson don't like it, I'm out. But I've seen a lot of bio stories on Mike. So that one don't surprise me. But I've seen a lot of bio stories on Mike. But the story is really pretty much, I'll probably watch it one day and come on TV or something, but I haven't watched it because Mike was not happy with it. So I said, I'm not going to do Mike like that. Mike feel that way, I ain't going to watch it.
Okay. There's a question I posted up, and it's from Miss Amelia Dixon. And the
Amelia
question is, yes, where are you now in the boxing world? Just asking. I don't know.
No, it's no problem. Me, I'm still licensed. I still have credentials. I still am a part owner of Boxing Socialist. Now it's called Boxing and Other Sports, and we still have the website up. We're still one of the top websites in the world, and when it comes to boxing, which is shocking, we're still up there. So it's just that you rarely see me doing it now. I'm an owner. We have other people that post stuff and stuff. Like we used to do articles where people would write, and we had writers doing all the articles. I would write some. My partner Sean Craddock, who also has a YouTube page called Boxing Socialist. I don't know if he's changed it now to Boxing and Other Sports, but I think it's still called Boxing Socialist. And he still posts a lot of boxing videos as well. He's the other co-owner. Me and him both own the website. And yeah, I still got media credentials. I can go to any fight I want. I can get Bob Arum on the phone, all the promoters. I'm still connected with everything that moves.
That's amazing. Well, you answered the question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. You speak on many different sports, but what is your favorite and why? So you basically said boxing was, but I know you speak a lot on basketball. I don't see a lot of football with you. Not to say that you don't have that content, but
football is my second. And that's the thing. Football is my second favorite sport because I dominated football. Like,
well, you're going to have to be honest with the people. Tell them who you really, truly like. It's the Cowboys, right?
That's my most hated team. My friend that was just got off the phone with, right when you started the interview, he's calling me about the Cowboys. He's the biggest Cowboy fan there is. He's now telling me about Cooper Rush. Right when I'm in the waiting room, right there when you was trying to, like, you were like, hello. When you came in, I was in the back room. He was on the phone talking to me the whole time. So I got to call him back when we get off this. He's still talking this. We got to get rid of Dak Prescott, keep Cooper Rush. I was like, you're just what's wrong with Dallas Cowboy fans. Delusional. Cooper Rush is not Joe Montana, okay? Y'all haven't played anybody. I played the Giants and Washington. That's it. Stop getting excited about Cooper Rush. Stop it. Y'all got Dak. And he's like, no, we need to get rid of Dak. So he never wanted to sign Dak to that money from the beginning. It's a mistake. I'm like, you're not going to win a Super Bowl with either guy. Dallas is going to fold. Y'all not built for this.
Yeah, well, I wanted to save that for later, but since you are going deep, why don't you feel that they have the skill or the weaponry, if you will, to make it to number one, a playoff berth, and perhaps a 2023 Super Bowl?
Personnel
Cowboys fan.
You don't have a general manager. Jerry wants to run everything his way, and his way don't work. Kellen Moore's another Jerry Jones guy he wants to keep around. And Kellen Moore keeps writing plays in crayon. Everybody knows these plays, and they're very simple. And you can see them coming. There's nothing disguising anything. You don't have a burner to really get a guy open. Smart defense is a fool Cooper Rush into throwing something like interceptions left and right on the field. So, I mean, this guy, he doesn't have the arm strength from what I've seen. The Cowboys can't put up more than 20 points a game. You're not going to win a Super Bowl if you can't score more than 20 points. So,
interjection. Okay. The last game was 25-10. So 25 is more than 20. Thank you. Okay. Mike, go mute.
Yeah, but you got to look at who you were playing. You played a team that Philly put up 40-something points on. They can't score past 10 points. If you talking about the Commanders.
Now, see, I didn't say all of that, but
I know. These are the things that matter. If Philly put up 40-something points on them, and beat them until they had them 24-0 in the first quarter. They're the top of the division right now. They're the only undefeated team in football. You got to be able to match that, and that's the goal. You got to be able to top them. The Giants are 3-1. Y'all are 3-1. Y'all beat the Giants. The Giants are not a threat. Washington's not a threat. Philly is your threat in that division. So you got to hope that your record is good enough. Now, y'all got the Rams this week. So hopefully y'all ready for the Rams.
The momentum is there. What I can say is I'm from the DC area. I was honestly an avid Washington fan. Washington, of course, was known at one time as the Redskins. Then they changed it to the Washington football team. Now they're the Commanders. My stance changed during the pre-Gruden era back in 2012 when RG3 came. He was like Black Jesus. He could do no wrong. However, that turned into a total cluster, you know what, after some time, especially after that injury. And from that time until present, it's been the same thing with the Washington team. That they will show signs of, okay, well, maybe this will be the year they'll actually have a over 500 season, and then they go right back to what was done. So when Gruden finally was booted out, I was so elated. But all of Washington teams, they hit like a snag. The same thing with Washington, the basketball. When Juwan Howard and Chris Webber was acquired, again, Washington was lit. But that plane went out quickly. So we're hurting right now. Well, they're hurting right now.
I know. Washington had a lot of opportunities to do something great, especially that team. They had George Mirasan. They had that was a dangerous team. Calvert Chaney, Chris Webber, and they ended up playing the Bulls in the first round. They could have won those games. They just didn't have the experience. But they were the better team. Like, they had the better personnel. They had the youth. They had very much talent at basically every skill level except for Michael Jordan. So I'm like, they just didn't know how to win. That was the only problem. They didn't know how to close it out. They didn't know how to win. But if they were able to keep it together, Chris Webber got hurt. He had a lot of injuries. So Webb got hurt, and then Juwan Howard was carrying a lot of the load. But everywhere Chris Webber went, he turned franchises around. I mean, losing franchises. And that's how he got in the Hall of Fame. Because he went to the Sacramento Kings and turned that franchise around. They were the laughingstock in Washington. Same thing, losing teams. When he came to Golden State, same thing.
Absolutely.
Everywhere he went, he turned them around.
They acquired talent, but couldn't bring it anywhere. So, you have a question, couple of questions. Hold on. Hold on. See if I can scroll back up really quick. QW Edville says, I think Vegas controls sports because gambling now in sports, or gambling is accepted now in sports. Your thoughts on that?
Vegas controls sports? Well, all sports are controlled. It's all sports entertainment now. I mean, why do you think when they count the spread, the spread is almost exact or close to, and it comes down to the wire. Some of these calls, hey, HD, welcome to HD 2 Eyes TV. That's what's up. HD in the house. But yeah, I mean, in sports, they control it all. You just trying to bet with the picks. You just hope you got it right. because I saw a game that totally was a ripoff in college sports, especially college. I mean, college is the worst. I mean, we almost had the over. I had it 60 points. I'm like, it was almost like 40 at the half. I'm like, oh, we got this. And nobody scored in the second half. I mean, it was 0-0 all the way through the rest of the game. I'm like, that's not going to happen. So I was just like blown away. Flags come in. Oh, HD said, who was my idol growing up? And who molded me? Well, Isaiah Thomas definitely was my idol growing up. There was no doubt. Isaiah Lord Thomas III. But somebody that I saw every day and wanted to, I had a lot of those in my life. So, like, my next door neighbor, Emmanuel Fitzpatrick, he's another one. Everybody who they played a part, I feel, in like making who I am. My next door neighbor, where I was at, Emmanuel, she's 3rd degree black belt. That's why I know martial arts. Most people don't know. He taught me some very lethal moves to really immobilize some people. But that guy he fought in Vietnam, and I saw him before I even lived there at a martial arts tournament. I mean, actually at a basketball game. And he was at the halftime. They had like martial arts. They were breaking wood and just playing. And he stood out of everybody in his class. He was the loudest one. He broke the most wood, everything. And when I saw him as my day, I'm like, that guy looks familiar. And sure enough, that was him, the guy. And he was a lieutenant on the fire department. Still is. Well, no, he's retired now, but yeah. Lieutenant on the fire department. And he was the first person I seen that taught me basically it was okay to really stand on your own. Like, you ain't wrong if you don't go with the flow, and you don't mean that they right and you wrong just because you don't got the numbers. Because he challenged the entire neighborhood, and they all got mad and turned against him over something political. And we were kids, we didn't understand that stuff, but they wanted to put a cul-de-sac in the neighborhood, and they were trying to sell it to us. They were going to raise the taxes and make people pay for this, but they saying it's for the safety. They're like, now your kids got a place to play, and then this will stop drive-bys. Drive-bys? We're in the Midwest. Who the hell doing drive-bys? Like, this is way back in the 90s. We never had any drive-bys. We're like, what drive-bys? This ain't Compton. What are they talking about? The cul-de-sac isn't a playground. And plus, it was going to affect him the most because it cuts into his yard, and he can't park in front of his house anymore. So it affects him the most. Him and this other lady on the other side. They're cutting into his yard to make this cul-de-sac. So then he can't park his car in front of his house. So his say really matters more than somebody down there. It's not going to affect. And he's like, it's not going to affect you. You live down the block. This is not going to affect you at all. The cul-de-sac is right by me because I'm on the in-house. So this affects me more than anything. So they had another vote because the politician was there. So they did a secret vote and had everybody there except for him. How you going to do that? So it pissed him off to the point he sold his house. He didn't like the betrayal. He didn't like that at all. And I was like, why are you speaking like this? He just stopped speaking to everybody, except for me. And he talked to me, he's like, cuz they went and had that meeting behind my back. And after all I've done, I've shown up to birthday parties, everybody here on the block, and they did that to me. And all because I made a stand that we didn't need it. It was only 2 houses. This girl I used to talk to, Nikki, she was on the same way as him. Like, we don't need a cul-de-sac. We didn't. What they did, and this was the city's thing to try to trap criminals, is they put cul-de-sacs everywhere so that criminals couldn't escape and get away from the police when they're chasing them. So if they box them in, criminals, they know how to get away. They drive over those damn things. You ain't getting them. So that cul-de-sac did not help. They fly over that thing and be out. They are not caring. Cul-de-sac is not going to stop crime.
No, it isn't. I can't believe anyone would even think that.
Yep. Welcome to Chicago. Because
Wow.
they're everywhere now.
There's a comment on the screen. I'm not sure if you can see it, but Sikkim Dogs and welcome Sikkim Dog says, Carcino, I've listened to you for a while. All that knowledge you have about sports, you'll fit in on ESPN, bro.
No, I won't.
All right, I'm gonna take this off the mic.
No, I won't, bro. I would not fit in there. I'll be fired day one. See, they all have a guy that dictates how the show is gonna run. If I was on ESPN, I'd be fired in one day. They would not. I'm not gonna do what they want me to do. They're not allowed to say what they want to say. They have a program director, and the program director pretty much tells them exactly what they're gonna do. Like, this is why Jemele Hill and Michael Smith, their show fell apart. I actually made that video already, and it's already uploaded, ready to go and everything. But Jemele Hill, she knows Clay Travis torpedoed their show, telling them what they could do and what they couldn't do, and started taking away everything they were planning on doing when they made it fun for everybody to want to watch them to do their show. They used to do personalities. They made it fun and entertaining, but he was there too. He came out with the Outkick. He's the one who started that, and that's just this right-wing show that's so pro-right-wing. Anything that you talk about left-wing or anything that looks woke, he knocking it out the park. So when they hired ESPN, hired him, they knew they was doomed. So they were like, oh, our show was doomed. And they put him in charge of their show on purpose to do exactly what he did. So that's why I wouldn't work there. I can't have somebody over me tell me how to make my videos. That's not gonna work. That's why I didn't take those deals. I'll take less money just so I can do it my way, instead of having somebody breathing down my neck or somebody who can tell me. Like, in that deal I would have signed, they would have been able to come on my page without me even knowing to delete my video, just because they felt like it wasn't appropriate for them. So they went and did that for me. I mean, like, we don't have to talk, because that can't happen with me.
Well, what if you had a show idea and you had total autonomy over the entire thing? Would you consider that now? Or is that something that you think would not even be on the table with them?
It would have to make sense. Everything would have to make sense. The numbers got to make sense. The timing have to make sense. What are we doing? How long is the show going to be? What's the treatment? Where is it going to be distributed? How many people are going to be on the show? Because then we had that set up before it was even like the first podcast thing. We had that thing set up before it was even like streaming shows. They were going to do that and pay for the bandwidth. ESPN was talking about doing that for boxing on their internet when they did ESPN.com when it first was coming out. They were going to do that. Then something happened and it changed. So when it changed, everybody like flipped the script and decided, okay, now that that's changed, we got to flip the script. We got to go with something else. And I was like, we had a whole people that they were going to do, but not everybody's on the same page. That's the problem that we all go through, is that everybody's not on the same page when we come about doing a project. You think everybody would be, but some people just, it's in their nature. Some people are petty. Some people are jealous this person's getting more shine than them. We had the boxing radio show that's still going on. It's probably going on tonight. The boxing rope-a-dope radio show. They asked me did I want to join, and I said no. And these are my guys. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. But I was like, I'll come there like every now and then and be a guest on the show. But I don't want to be a part of it because it was so many people. I mean, it was Joe Abib, Strike Hard, D-Style, Joe Abib, Chris Carlson. It was just a long list of people at the time. And if you interviewing somebody and all these guys got questions, by the time the guy gets to, it's like 8 guys asking questions. Everybody's stepping on each other's questions. By the time it gets to go back around to you, it's like, man, about 3 people have asked your question already. So it doesn't even make sense. So the interview, it's like everybody would have to work together in order for something like that to work. And that takes a lot of practice for everybody to be on the same page and wavelength. Because one thing you don't want to do is you worried about the show and trying to go through that and then got to deal with side garbage, and that stuff is ridiculous. And sure enough, people start quitting and all kind of nonsense over there. And I still go over there and help Chris when I can, because it's just Chris now. He's the only one still doing it. Everybody else left, want to do their own thing now. And Chris still keeps it going, when he can. So I try to help him out and go over there, and whenever I can, go over there and give him a couple minutes. But yeah, so I gotta get ready to get out of here. So it's 6:30. So I can ask a few more questions.
Okay. Basically, I want to know, you seem to have, and this was during Mob Only Uncut's interview, where he shouted you out with your natural storytelling. And my question was, how does anyone, as far as audience retention is concerned, is that something that is learned, or is that just an innate type of gift?
That's a gift, because I'd really just be telling the story as I see it. And that's like, man, it's like it's visual. Like when I tell the story, it's like visual. Like I can see it. So I could tell you like this happened, that happened. The dude had this cigarette. I remember like all of it, like a movie almost. And I guess because I, watch movies, maybe too, I could like tell it in a narration type of story. But I want to tell it in a way where the person could visualize it, hopefully like I saw it. I'm like, man, you got to picture this like I saw it. So.
Okay, and the last one, let's go, because I've got to roll out too. Your predictions for the 2023 Super Bowl.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers will beat the Denver Broncos.
You have a score?
35-17.
I have to say Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs. Cowboys 27, Chiefs 13.
What? You are out your mind.
Watch it. That's my prediction, and I'm standing on it.
Who is your quarterback that's gonna get you there? Cooper Rush?
Look, no. Let me say this. Stop it, stop it.
HD, where you at? HD you should pull HD up in here right now. HD, get up in here.
All right, hold on.
HD gonna be like, what?
Y'all better not.
Cowboy.
Don't y'all dare. QB Avil is laughing at me too. They're all gonna laugh at you. Look, y'all aren't fair, because the Giants have been dead for how many years now? But they have been exhumed. So don't you laugh at the Cowboys. And yes, Cooper Rush will bring them to victory.
Oh my gosh. I will be laughing about this all day.
You better not.
You just made my day.
HD, come on up real quickly. And I'm not delusional. I take offense to that. Wilt to the streets, come on now. Show me some love.
Oh yeah, we love you. But
you just laughed at me. HD, Nino called you up there. Hit the link, please. That's right. Wait a minute, he's laughing at Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
Look up, sir. But why?
The Super Bowl. Y'all, they try to act like Cooper Rush and Tom Brady. This Cowboy fan that told me,
Man, are you serious though, Oz? Come on.
Watch it
Come
now.
on.
Watch
Wow.
Watch it
The
now.
cowgirls with
hey,
Copper Rush.
Boy,
Copper Rush.
hey, guess what? Man, they just told me today, like, yeah, you remember when Bledsoe went down and Tom Brady took over? I'm like, y'all trying to tell me Cooper Rush and Tom Brady?
Oh my gosh, are you serious? Are you serious? Oh my God.
Because they beat the Giants and they beat the Commanders.
No, y'all haven't played. Listen, we got a Dallas fan on my page, Still the King. He's there every show. This dude is so delusional when it comes to the Cowboys. Like, y'all haven't won nothing. Y'all have only won 3 playoff games in 20-some years. And you think Cooper Rush is going to get you there? Good luck.
well, look what
Good
Kirk
luck.
Cousins did for Washington, and after he left, look what he's doing now.
But
Mr.
Washington
Wilson.
ain't do nothing, though. But Washington ain't do nothing. And Minnesota had that lucky catch because the DB missed his read. He overplayed it.
He's saying lucky. Why does it have to be luck? Why can't it be just raw and adulterated?
No, because Kirk Cousins. Listen, I watch college football. I'm a college football nut. That's all Floridians. We college all day. Kirk
All
Cousins
right.
did the same thing in the pros that he did in college. He'll get you all them pretty stats, but when it's the big game, he folds. He did it at Michigan State all the time. He folds like he can't handle it. You hit him a couple times, man. He mentally out of it. He trying to get out of there. He trying to make it. He trying to make it to the house or to the movies. He got to get out of there. He can't do it. He can't do it. And then the Cowboys, Cooper Rush, man. Y'all thing is y'all offensive coordinator is so remedial. You guys don't even run the ball when y'all supposed to. He didn't run Tony Pollard until the second half. Until the second half the other night. Against the Washington Commanders. I call them the Redskins still. I call them the Deadskins. We call them Deadskins where I'm from. We don't like Washington.
People still do, but they're under a dark cloud of controversy and scandal now with the owner, Daniel Snyder. And I don't really know what's going on with that, but a lot of the NFL players, the managers.
No, Daniel Snyder was... Yeah, Daniel Snyder was harassing the women and cheerleaders on there, and he was wilding out. He was doing stuff like he really was doing like the stuff Deshaun was doing. Like he was doing it illegally. Deshaun was doing it consensually. He was just taking it. That's what Daniel Snyder was doing, and they put that Deshaun Watson story out there to try to cover that up. That's why they haven't really talked about it. And then they brought this Ime Udoka, so that really put it under the back burner. But I've been on Daniel Snyder for 2 years now. I've been talking about it, knowing what he's doing. He's sick.
Yeah, and they want him to either sell the team or leave the league. That was the last news I heard.
Yeah, they're gonna force him. He gonna sell the team. They gonna do it quietly though.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna put it out there, but he gonna sell the team. He got too much dirt on his name.
Yeah, but all right, I gotta get out of here.
All right, thank you, Sino. Thank you. Welcome to HDTV. Thank you.
Yeah, Sino. Y'all be safe.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Oh, and the Cowboys are not finna win. Okay, I'm sorry, beautiful lady.
Oh, why did you just do that to me? That was so wrong. I've been supporting you. I've been coming by with one eye open just to put a like. You're gonna dog me on my own life. See what you do. See,
hey, I'm just we all we got. But I gotta be honest. I don't wanna lead you into persecution. I want you to go the right way.
I am, but as I said, honestly, all jokes aside, look how crappy the Giants have been for the last how many years? And they, like I said, have been exhumed. What makes people think that the same thing cannot happen for America's team, the Dallas Cowboys?
Because Jerry Jones. Because my dad was a fan. God rest his soul. He was a Starbuck and Dorset guy. So he don't like Jerry. He already said it when they fired Jimmy Johnson. He predicted they would be trash for the next 20-some years. But Jerry don't know what to do. He don't know how to alleviate power. Like, he don't know how to let people do their job. Y'all got a good GM in Will McClay. McClay is a very good GM. Like, he picks y'all some good talent, but Jerry always steps on his toes. So that's why you guys are struggling. If y'all get rid of Jerry, or if he actually lets y'all do y'all job, the people do their job, then y'all will be fine. Dallas will go back, but that's his problem. That's why him and Jimmy fell out, because he always wanted to take Jimmy spotlight. Jimmy used to have the Cowboys running like a machine. He had everybody in order. Everybody knew their roles. Everybody did what they were supposed to do. He was the GM. He picked the talent. He just told Jerry, all you got to do is sign the check. Y'all will win. Cowboys would have won 7 Super Bowls if y'all would have kept Jimmy. But nah, Jerry got mad.
Welcome to. I have a quick question for you from Sick'em Dog. He wants to know, are you a Gator or Seminole fan?
I am a Florida State Seminole fan. I am a Nole fan. I'm a Florida State Seminole. I do not mess with the taters. I do not mess with taters. I don't mess with the bum swamp, the stank swamp, we call it. We call it sewage water. That's where they play. Won't mess with them.
Now back to the Cowboys real quick, Mr. Knowledge. All right, take Jera out of the equation. How would you feel if Tom Landry was still at the helm? Would your stance be different?
No, they needed to get rid of Tom Landry when they did, because the game passed them by. It wasn't that Landry couldn't coach. It's that it was a different type of player, different type of time. They needed to move on. If all Jerry had to do, it's like the Patriots. You got Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick. If Jerry would have been Robert Kraft, they would have won by 7 Super Bowls easy. That's all. Because Belichick that was Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson would have been just like how Belichick. Actually, he's better than Belichick was as a coach. But Jimmy basically would have had them rolling. And then as soon as Troy Aikman got old, Jimmy would have replaced him with somebody better, because Belichick don't know how to pick talent good, in my opinion. But Jimmy was a great picker of talent and knew how to put his team together, because he did it at the Hurricanes. He did it with Miami for all them years.
Wow. I always thought the Cowboys had talent. I mean, Michael Irvin, you had the nucleus there back in the day of like Aikman, like you said. They couldn't pull it through, but I don't think they were worse than what Washington has put out these last several years. And the fans are the ones that are being duped, in my opinion. And Carl Belton, if he's still in here, every time we have rivalry week and Dallas comes here, you will see the majority in the stand with Cowboys gear.
Yep. No, Cowboys have a great fan base.
Yeah.
The Cowboys have a fan base and everything. The problem has always been Jerry Jones. It doesn't matter who you replace at quarterback or head coach. They're not going to have control of the team. Like Mike McCarthy doesn't have any control. He don't control the offense. He don't control the defense. He don't have a say in nothing. Jerry Jones is coaching from the press box. He just puts a coach there to basically take all the pressure, to take all the lashings, so Jerry doesn't get blamed. So Mike McCarthy's the lame duck coach, just like all the previous coaches were. Jason Garrett, Dave Campo, you had Chan Gailey, you had Bill Parcells is going to turn y'all around. Y'all were going to be in the driver's seat. Parcells brought in the defense. Y'all would have had the quarterback if Jerry would have let him pick his quarterback. But no, Jerry wants to stick with Romo.
I kind of like Garrett, though. I did.
Nah, Garrett was terrible. Garrett don't know X's and O's to save his life.
He fell off towards the end, I think.
No, he was terrible in the beginning. Jason Garrett don't know how to run. He don't know how to run plays. He doesn't know how to scheme well. Like, his schemes are very vanilla. Like me, I play defense. I played inside linebacker. I could guess every play he's running before he even runs it, just by the set. So if he has 3 receivers, which we call the X, Y, and the Z, and then he has 2 out for, like, let's say he comes out with 2 split backs, which are basically a halfback or fullback. Sometimes it'll be a double halfback or a dual back. And then you'll have your 5. So I already know he's either 80% he's gonna throw out of that. He's gonna throw out of that. And then like the rest of it, the 20%, he'll run out of it. But if he runs, he's gonna run a basic up the A gap. And that's why you guys were getting killed, because he ran Zeke. He ran Zeke too much in the middle instead of like bouncing it. Sometimes Zeke can run up the B gap and the C gap. And sometimes his plays aren't creative. Like they don't have any motions that well. They'll motion sometimes, but it's a fake motion. 9 times out of 10, they're going to the guy who motions. And if they don't, then it's either going to be a incomplete pass or it's going to be a sack. Like that's just how his offense was. And that's why they lost so much. That's why every team who came in there, they never feared Dallas in the big games, because they knew, okay, all we're going to do is just press their receivers, because their receivers can't run routes. Jason Witten is going to get the ball. He run like a 5'10", so he going to be slow to get to the first down, and that's just how they used to beat y'all. They used to keep everything. They used to push everything to Witten, and that's why they beat y'all all the time. And then y'all get to the red zone. Y'all red zone is terrible. Y'all haven't had a good red zone in like a long time. Like when y'all get to the red zone, y'all struggle, especially against the good teams. Now the bad teams, Dallas is very good against, but against the good teams, you guys are like 500 or below against them.
Well, we're going into week 5. Do you see Dak returning?
No. Jerry's going to keep Dak on the sideline. He wants Cooper Rush the ball out because he never wanted Dak. I did a video on my page. It's called The Truth of the Matter Is on the Dallas Cowboys. And it basically told everything, that they never wanted Dak. This is what they wanted. He wanted Johnny Manziel. But the son, I think it's Steven. Yeah, Steven. That he looked just like Jerry. Steven basically said, no, let's get a lineman. So when they got a lineman, y'all got Zach Martin. And then y'all were able to ball out because y'all had DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray still was, he was good. His problem was his injury. He used to get hurt at Oklahoma. So I knew, like, he wouldn't last that long. So after he had that raw season with y'all, I knew he was done because his body was breaking down. So whenever he left, that's when Philly got him. That's why he did terrible for Philly. But back to the thing, Jerry then went into the draft. Tony Romo kept getting hurt. So they needed to get a quarterback. They were going to go get Paxton Lynch. I don't know if you remember him. His name was Paxton Lynch. Dallas, they were talking about it all day. Jerry loves Paxton Lynch. He brought him in for a workout. He thought Paxton was going to be this guy. He's prototypical. However, I used to watch college, so I knew Dak would be perfect because the system y'all run is run heavy. Dallas plays like they do in the 90s. Y'all like to run heavy, and y'all like to throw to the tight end. Y'all go to the receiver once in a while. So when y'all basically drafted, Steve Jones had to talk Jerry like, look, man, we're not going to get Paxton Lynch. But Denver Broncos, they stupid too, so they don't know how to pick quarterbacks either. So they jumped up and said, all right, we're going to take Paxton Lynch. So when they did that, they saved it for Jerry. If y'all would have had Paxton Lynch, y'all would have been terrible that year. So Stephen Jones was like, no, we're going to get Dak. Let's get Dak because he did well. He answers all the bells. So when Tony got hurt and Dak came in, I knew what Dak could do. But see, this would mess Dak up. They tried to turn Dak into Tony Romo, and he's not Tony Romo. That's not his style. He's not a 40 to 50 pass attempt quarterback. He's more of a like 20 to 20. He's like more of a 20 to 30 pass attempt quarterback, and you run the ball. You know what I'm saying? So when you run the ball and everything, if you run the ball like more than like, let's say 20 carries, let's say you got Tony and Zeke, you run the ball between 20 apiece, which is 40 total. Dak has a high percentage of winning. But when you guys run the ball like 10 times or like less than 20 times or less than 15 times, Dak has an under 500 record. And I don't know why Dallas doesn't see this. I don't know why they don't see this. When y'all run the ball more and play defense, Dak is much better than he is throwing the ball. He's a game manager. That's what he was in Mississippi State.
I will agree with you on that. The passing game makes me nervous, but that's the only agreement you'll get out of me as far as the Cowboys.
That's cool. Everybody subscribe to me don't agree with me. Everybody on my page, we don't agree at all.
No, but you all had some fire conversations. I'm like really passionate about it. I'm like, wow. On your football.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, cause it's all love, man. Everybody love football. Everybody talk about it. Everybody can hold their own. Everybody know their stuff. You know, you got to come correct. If you don't know your stuff, you get ran out of there.
Well, I'm gonna come next time, and y'all aren't running me anywhere.
You come on now. I know you can hold your own. So I ain't even worried about you. But I'm just letting you know now the Cowboys are gonna get bagged on. So I'm just letting you know that now.
Stop it. You will see let me see, week 8, if we are over 500, then I'm going to see what you have to say if you still are bumping your gums about the status of the Cowboys. And what's your team? I forgot. What's your team? Welcome to?
My team is Tampa. I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida. St. Petersburg, right across from Tampa. Been a Tampa fan since Dungy.
Tony Dungy.
And my dad is a Cowboys fan. He's a Cowboys fan. He was a Cowboys fan since the 60s when they were their inception.
Yes. Wow. Tampa. Okay, well, I have to keep that in mind. You are a Bucs fan. I have a couple of people in my chat normally that are Bucs fans. Okay. Well, I definitely have to keep my eye
and the Bucs quarterback, fun fact for everybody in Doa's chat. Quarterback Sean King, who played for us, he is from St. Petersburg, Florida, South Side, where I'm from. He stayed right across. He stayed down the street from me.
Wow.
And he was a beast. He played at Gibbs High School. That was our rival. I played at Lakewood High School, 54th Ave. If y'all don't think I'm from St. Pete, you can do your research. 54th Ave runs all the way down to like you going to Treasure Island. So basically, that's Lakewood. That's also 5-4 for street people. 34th Street to Trey 4 over there is where he was at. I stayed on 37th Ave and 42nd Street. So, like I said, St. Petersburg forever, man. He played at Gibbs, our rival. He was a hell of a quarterback. He just ain't get a chance under John Gruden. That punk messed him up, and I'm still mad about it.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I think Jay messed up RG3, but that's just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. He did. He messed up everybody. Him and Jay the dumb one. Jay don't know anything. He's an idiot. He too busy trying to get drunk with women. He too busy getting drunk with women at the bar instead of doing his job.
Jay's clock management skills were, I'm not going to cuss, but poor.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it
Extremely.
was. It was terrible.
I am not going to keep you long. I need to run out and get something done. But thank you for coming up. Thank you to all that joined in on this broadcast with special guest Arsenio for Life. And then welcome to HD2 TV. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe to him. Mr.
It's just welcome to HD TV. The 2 I's is from because it spells my name out. So it's HD TV, but it's Harry Dawkins II Television. That's why I got it HDII TV.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. Well, make sure you subscribe up to him. As I said, Mr. Fair Use was in here earlier. Make sure you subscribe up to him. Sick'em Dogs, Carl Belton. And let's see who else was in here. I can get the
Shout
scroll.
out to my boy Lobo L0V0. He breaks down the industry and breaks down some of the undertones of what's going on in football and entertainment.
I
So
saw
check
him
out his
earlier.
page too. Yeah,
Okay,
he's a
so I'll
real
have to
good
find
dude.
his page and make sure I sub. But you said it was Lobo.
Yes,
QW.
L0. Yes, L0V0.
Okay, I'll go to his page. Douglas Cook, Wilt T to the street. Let's see. We had Amelia Dixon, Shirley Kirkland was in here. Carl Belton. Who else? I don't want to miss anyone. I definitely have to go there because I had a question about, and this can be spoken on another time, but how you feel with African Americans having ownership of a football franchise, total ownership, not just half, but total. I'm just being me, Amelia Dixon.
Yeah, I feel it should happen. I feel that they're not letting it happen is because it's the good old boys club. And they had a chance to do it with the Denver Broncos, but they went out and signed the Walton. They don't want blacks to be in the ownership or none of that stuff. You know, they only made Michael Jordan an owner in the NBA because he brought so much money to the league. So that's why they let him in.
And to the city, Douglas Cook. But you saw what happened with A. Poland, Andrea Smith. Thank you for joining. I don't know if you remember that, but Police K. Thank you. Well, I don't know if you remember that story, but Michael Jordan came up for a meeting and he basically was given a boot out of DC, A. Poland. And DC was lit with that story. Trayon, thank you for joining.
I remember that. They did that because he didn't like the way Jordan was cussing at players and showing their ugly side. And it's just like we didn't think Michael Jordan ever was like that, but everybody knew how Mike was, especially his competitor. Mike don't care if you his mama, he gonna cuss you out if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. And he's using vulgar words, like vulgar, so they didn't respect that as an owner. So the owner was like, he can't have an owner there, so that's why he let Michael go, because of his behavior.
Yes, and Abe was tired of it. Oh, Police K.
Shout out Police K and the Raiders, man. One of the realest franchises out there. Al Davis, man. Rest in paradise. He beat the NFL at their own game.
You see the comment there? She's a Raiders fan.
Jordan is only 3.
UW Ava said,
yeah, 3 to 4 part owner. Yeah, I heard that
3 to
too.
4 part owner.
I heard that too. My homeboy on I got people from Carolina. They told me that. I think they told me that the other day. Yeah. So you can't believe everything you see on TV. You got to actually do your research.
There you go. That's the operative word. Your research. No hearsay, but your research. And make sure that it comes out of the horse's mouth. But thank you all again for joining. And I want to thank everybody who donated to my lupus fundraiser. The goal was met, and I did make the goal on last Saturday. So thank you to everyone. You are much appreciated. And thank you all for tuning in. I'm planning on trying to continue to grow and have other content that you can use, or hopefully your family or someone you know and love can use. And as long as one person can glean something positive, it's a win for everybody. And we have another Raider Nation fan in the house, and Mr. Douglas Cook. Raider Nation or nothing. Well, Douglas Cook, I like you, so I'm not going to respond to that.
It's nothing for me.
Thank you. So I'm going to let everyone go. You all be safe, be well. If you've been listening long enough, you know the rest. Be healthier. Bye-bye for now.
See y'all later.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye. No problem.
Bye. Again, enjoy your night, everyone, and thank you all who came in, supported, and participated. Oh, you're laughing, Douglas Cook? Hold on. Let me get you something really quick. You said Raider Nation or nothing?
What you talking about, Willis?
That was just for you, Douglas. And anyone else who has a problem with my choosing the Dallas Cowboys to go all the way. So take care, enjoy, and again, thank you, everyone. Bye-bye now.